Hi there, Rick here. I'm just at my customer's job site here. Um, you remember I put these concrete garden edgers, okay, around her garden because before she had the rubber piece in there. She didn't like it because it was starting to bend, right? Um, some of the muddy water from the garden was, getting onto the pavement. So she got these concrete garden edgers, and well, she liked how it looked. So I done the other side for her. Okay, you can see I have to cut it with my diamond blade, my skill saw right there, to go around some of the corners there. You see that corner? See this small piece where it went in? Okay, so I have to measure it out, and where it meets the 4x4, you know garden post right there, I have to cut it because they're about 16 inches long, and it goes around here. Okay, she had some leftover was it 4x4 posts, and she wanted me to butt it up to the existing one and go around here like so, and then I just butt the concrete garden edger up to it. And right now, okay, she, like I say, she liked how it looked. So right now I'm digging out the weeds in the garden. Okay, and you can see I'm going around with the garden concrete garden edgers, okay, all around here. All right, going to the very end towards the house there. So it is hard work. Like, I mean, I'm digging out roots, right? And you can see I have a picket right there. Okay, yeah, so I've worked up a bit of sweat, getting those roots out, because you really have to dig deep to get those roots out. So she likes her garden, and some overall it improves the appearance, right, of the front of the home, right? And she doesn't have to worry so much about muddy water getting onto the pavement when you have these concrete edgers in. I think a lot of people don't realize how nice they actually look until you get it in, because they had about 8 different types, and this was the only one at my supplier where it was color. Okay, it's kind of like a reddish color, right? And well, in my opinion, I think it looks better than the standard gray, right? Because it gives some contrast in the garden. So I also too, I like working with masonry. You have to remember it's one of the oldest trades, well, in our civilization, right? Because it dates all the way back to the Egyptians, right? And believe it or not, okay, it's written in their tablets. Okay, apparently like 5,000 years ago they had some sort of dispute with the wages, and because it's written in their tablets, right? And the pharaoh wanted his pyramids built, so he gave in to the workers' demands, right? It's no different than what happens in today's age, right? We have unions. Okay, sometimes there's a dispute in the wage, right? They go on strike. So you have to remember there weren't unions way back then, but the workers still banded together when they felt that they deserved more of a wage increase, right? So they kind of like, well, had their protest way back then, 5,000 years ago, right? And the pharaoh wanted his pyramids built, right? So he gave in to the workers' demands. And you have to remember the work was quite hard work, even harder back then, because remember, they didn't have forklifts, they didn't have all this sophisticated machinery, making these concrete blocks, right? They didn't have trucks to transport it, right? It was probably pretty difficult. It was pretty labor intensive, put it that way. And I think, well, remember too, back then they had slaves too, right? So, they got burdened with, doing all the heavy lifting too, right? I don't think the stonemasons done that much heavy lifting compared to the slaves, because, of course, if there's heavy lifting involved, of course, you're going to get the slaves to do it, right?